Hey y'all, hope you're doing well. This is your, well, unfortunately, early November update. I meant for this to be a late October update, but I just got pulled way too many directions. But nonetheless, here we are. We have a lot going on. I know a number of you have already left for your other homes. I trust you are significantly warmer than we are here. I hope you were able to see at least some of the steel before you left because a lot has been happening the last few weeks. Lots going to be happening sequentially, and so I'm going to be extra vigilant in making sure these update videos get sent out to you all, as many things are just coming at us, day by day and week by week. So most of this is going to be just looking at what our building looks like now with the steel and just kind of absorbing that. I'll touch on a few other things, but I'll probably have another update video in a few weeks just to kind of catch us up really on everything. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. And this first video is from my car, as if we're turning onto Pine Street, and you can see the steel frame already up, and it just looks magnificent, just kind of perched up there on the hill, looking benignly on the town of Highlands. So it's a really impressive edifice. Even the video is not really doing it justice. Um, but as you get closer, I mean, it's really impressive. It's quite tall because it's sitting as high as it is, and then you add on top of that 35 feet, and the statue of Our Lady is going to be even above that. So it just does just a very, very impressive building. Even coming from either direction of North Fifth Street, just to see this building emerge is pretty cool. I'm going to share with you another video, and I'm walking around with Thomas. We're talking about the building, but I'm just going to narrate here anyway. So that's what eventually we're going to see, of course. And by the way, I'll have hopefully some very exciting news about the front facade here soon. I'm trying to work on a few things. So, but at any rate, so this is where you're at the bottom of the steps. By the way, they're doing the bricks on the outside of the stairway walls here. Think I may have some pictures of that, but it looks very handsome. But yeah, just standing here looking up is very cool. Um, just running my mouth here, but you can start to see the steel beams that we signed. If I go back, just the yellow one is here. The blue one's down here. I think we'll get another angle of that here momentarily. I thought originally it's going to be in the interior dome or near that, but that turned out not to be the case. But nonetheless, they're very visible, kind of cool to see. They're going to be pouring the concrete up here for the stairwell and the choir loft here real soon. I think in about a week. So second week of November, maybe, as well as I think the stairs. Um, so yeah, there'll be several more pours because we have some other things to pour, the footings of the altars and some and the steps going into the sanctuary, etc. So here we're walking through the front doors, really, and we're in the Narthex. And soon, the rest of the studs are going to be going in. You're really going to get a sense of the rooms. But at any rate, it's starting to certainly take shape. Looking back out towards our lovely little town here. Um, yeah, to the right here, beyond there is going to be the men's room is going to be to the right, and so also the stairwell to the choir loft that will be to the right. Um, and remember, there will be a lot of glass here. The Narthex will double as a quieting room or a cry room to make the most use of our space of every square foot. But yeah, sound will definitely be piped in with the speakers into the Narthex, so easy access to bathrooms. So I trust that will work out well and pretty clear visibility. To the left here is going to be, of course, the bride's room. There'll be a wall here and a door, But so the bride's room, then leading into the women's bathroom, and then also the personal lift, which is not currently in scope. Where's that going to be exactly? I think it's here. So it's like a smaller elevator, not a full commercial one. Legally, we didn't have to have one. Those are quite expensive. And this is also, remember, the foot of the bell tower, which is not currently in scope, but eventually we'll get there. So there's a lot of steel there to absorb that weight when eventually that bell tower does go in. And here's just a different angle from the blue and the yellow beams with our signatures. So again, pretty cool. I think I already discussed that. Oh, you can see the piping stuff for the bathrooms coming up through the concrete. So that's ready to rock. And so we walk into the church itself. Um, and you're beginning to see it take shape. So uh, that's one shrine. This is another shrine to extreme unction, anointing of the sick, holy orders. Then, of course, closer will be the confessional on this side, and so baptistry, confirmation shrine, matrimony shrine over here. So you're beginning to get a sense of the scale and the size of these things. You know, those 3D models they're very helpful and all, but you just don't really get a sense of the scale. And even here in this video on the screen, you know, it's certainly is better than the 3D model, but still, you have to see it live. And you can see where the Diocletian windows are like the half circle windows. You can begin to see those shapes that they'll be taking there in there. So it's a good size. It's not huge in terms of one of these mega churches, but it is sizable. Um, and I think it's going to end up being really a perfect size. So that's the baptistry and the confessional. You can sense the height that each of those will have, you know, with an archway going in. Look at my name, boss. Okay, and so these again, there'll be altars in these shrines, and so these are ready for concrete to come in. So I'm not sure if those are being poured next week or not, but eventually they will be. Just run my mouth. I get paid by the minute, by the word. And here you get a sense of I guess this would be the Joseph altar. Not quite sure why these things are laying down the way that they are, but or even if they're still there, because this was filmed last week. But there'll be a pour definitely for the foundation of the altar because those altars are really heavy. A lot of marble, and the inside of it is usually brick, and so it's a good amount of weight. So that it's a certainly a high craft. We'll talk a little bit more about altars here in a minute, but it seems like a simple thing, but you have to have serious craftsmen who know what they're doing. Uh, I'm going to show you. I've got actually some more images and even a little video of the interior dome. So we're going to kind of fast forward here, but here, I mean, you can get a strong sense of the rest of the church, and I think the window from the choir loft. I'm pretty sure it's going to be about right here. Um, so, and of course the choir loft here. Um, yeah. And each of these little squares are for the little round windows, an oculus or plural oculi. For again, each of them representing the natural light coming down, representing the grace coming into the church from heaven, and the great, and because these are all dedicated to different sacraments, grace of the sacraments enter the church, into our lives, etc. At least that's the idea. If you ever look at our live feed, and I encourage you to do so, our little camera is actually right there. You can see it tethered to our tiny little bell tower. Our future bell tower is going to be a little bit bigger than that. So yeah, you get a sense of these things. I have a few more minutes on this video. What am I even talking about? Come on, Barone, wrap it up. The sanctuary, you get a sense of the height. Yeah, there'll be more than just these three little wooden steps going into the sanctuary, but I think there'll be some poured soon, but not sure. I think I'm just going here to see the sacristies and, of course, the sanctuary, the work sacristies where he is. This is where all the candlesticks and stuff like that's kept. It's roughly where I'm gesturing towards now is where the freestanding altar will be, and roughly where you'll see me. And the pulpit area. Um, The pulpit, I don't think is going to be in scope currently, because we have a very noble lectern coming in that can serve us for a while. At any rate, and every little bit of money certainly helps. So, but eventually it'll be full-blown pulpit with several steps going up into it, etc. I think I'm gesturing towards the high altar, the altar repose, where the Blessed Sacrament is kept. Um, and I'll show you some images of that in the workshop at the Mason right now. But yeah, so this is the pre-sacristy where I'll get vested. And then my doorway be about right here, etc. So um, yeah, so that should be about it on this little video. We got some more to discuss. Ah, look at that though. That's so cool. So cool. All right, what's our next thing? Oh, so yeah, shortly after that. They started working on the interior dome, which is just so cool. Although just that looks like a villain's evil lair. It's gonna look a lot different here soon, but really cool to see. I suppose it could also double as the world's tallest basketball hoop. Um, and I got a very quick little video, just a sense of that. This is from, I think, Mary's altar, essentially, if I were standing inside Mary's altar. So, um, yeah. Just very, very cool. Very cool. Very much enjoy being in there. This is what all the steel will look like eventually. So they should be done with all of this mid-November, and I haven't heard of any delays. So I mean they've been throwing this stuff up pretty fast, and so at any rate, that's what we can anticipate to see. And then shortly thereafter, they're going to be putting the studs in all the walls, steel, and they're going to be covering this up and getting getting roofing on it, and so it's moving pretty quickly. The general contractor, J Dave's doing a great job on just not losing any time. It's really stacking subs on top of each other. So that's the steel. I want to share with you just real quickly the just one example of something that's being fabricated right now is the crucifix, the main crucifix on the high altar. It's being made in Slovakia. Um, and here are just a couple of images of that. So of the in the Baroque style, just very beautiful. I'm trying to zoom in. There we go. Just get a sense of the craftsmanship. Just very beautiful. So that's going on. And then excitingly is the altar. So this is just the base. There's not the cupola. So this is only a portion of the high altar. They've been working. I think they're pretty much done restoring it. They've been restoring and cleaning and little things. And this thing is about 100 years old, as you may recall, but absolutely beautiful piece. These are the steps. And it's just, you think of steps, you don't really think much of it, but it's a to-do. And these are, big pieces of marble and beautiful and been around, been used for a century. So this would be an example of they're cleaning it, and so the left side obviously is an area have cleaned. The right side, well, at least in this photo, what they have yet to clean. And so another image here, this to being the dividing line um, of cleaned versus what needs to be cleaned. So they're doing a great job. Yeah, they're really good. So and a little bit of detail here. Just, some impressive craftsmanship. So we're really lucky to be getting this and for it to have been as affordable as it's been. So very exciting. Um, so that is the bulk of what I wanted to share with you. In terms of the flooring, again, this is just in sort of a detail image right now. The flooring is something we're very actively working on. We've had several very sizable, very generous gifts to make sure that this goes in. And so we got some work to do still on that. So whether we move some money around from like our savings or interest earned, we have made about $470,000 in interest. So that was a good day hearing that. So at any rate, there may be some ways to bridge the gap here, and so there's too many variables to go into detail here about marble versus porcelain tile, where the savings can be had, etc. But at any rate, like the center aisle now has been memorialized, but so that'll definitely be marble, and as well as I really trust the sanctuary will be as well. So a lot of different factors going on there. I'm sure we'll have some more news very soon because it's got to be very soon about that. This just kind of breaks up the flooring in different areas. So the sanctuary center aisle, the pre-sacristy would be wood actually, and then some cheaper material in the or less expensive rather in the work sacristy that no one will really see, and so etc. So a lot of moving parts going on here, and um, we'll take a look at this. I don't re the numbers have been just really impressive. Folks, you did a fantastic job on this campaign this year. Big chunk of the of what would be debt has been addressed thanks to your generosity. Um, I mean, again, these numbers are quite fluid. More numbers are coming in. We're having to make some decisions, again, whether to apply some money, for instance, to make sure we get to the flooring, stuff like that. But as of whatever date this was, well, about 3, 4 weeks ago, um, the phase one goals, 12.8, amount pledged 11.8. So about, but I think we're even lower than this actually. So even I think this number is old. So at any rate, I'm going to dive into some more numbers here real soon. Next update video, we can take a look at that. But we're definitely beneath the 1 million. But again, if we're just a couple 100,000 shy of the final flooring or the front facade, then, and if it's cheaper to go ahead and move forward, then that's something that we will do. So I'm going to stop sharing here and just kind of wrap up here. So I think there'll be a lot of important decisions next few weeks, especially when it comes to timing. There haven't been any big surprises or delays. I mean, once that concrete gets poured, um, it's harder to delay, and of course, once we get this thing enclosed, it's gonna be even harder to delay it. So that's been moving at a good pace. Been very happy about that. I do want to say that I want us in this building next season, and so that's a very high priority for me, even if it feels unfinished. I am definitely, and it came to me during adoration last week. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, we've got to be in this building. And if that means, getting some, again, it not looking, complete and that more work be done, for instance, next winter, or even throughout the year as we can, then, we're going to look into that. But it's a very, very high priority. So for us to be in the building this coming season. So, all right, we're going to try to make that work, and I'm optimistic. But a lot of things, a lot of variables happening, and so we'll see what the next couple of days and weeks portends for that. So, at any rate, that's pretty much it. Again, 2025, there's a tax advantage for giving, so you keep us in mind. Again, thank you for all your generosity. It's incredible what has already happened, what is happening, and what will happen. And it's thanks to your generosity. So I can't thank you enough. So may God reward you. And expect another update video before too long. Hope you found this interesting. Please continue praying for this campaign. Again, all for the glory of God and for the salvation, sanctification of our souls. All right, y'all. Take care. God bless.